Hello, everyone, and welcome to United Way. Live United. I'm Terry Westerfield, and joining me today, I have friends who are in from Raintree Children and Family Services. It's a great organization. I want to welcome to the program Whitney Armentor, who is the Development Associate at Raintree Children and Family Services. Welcome, Whitney.
Hi, Terry. Good morning.
It's so nice to see you. And Joachim Blanc, who is the Raintree House Supervisor, and she says I can call her Joe. That's right, Joe.
Yes.
You have a beautiful name. I'm just so worried I'm always going to mispronounce it. I really want to thank you, ladies, for being here today. And for those of you who are regular listeners, you may know just a little bit about Raintree Services. And I want to tell you, for those of us who've really been blessed to have family and friends and a safe, secure place to call home, this Thanksgiving holiday has been lovely. But we're now at the point where we're downing turkey leftovers while watching our favorite football team go long on fourth down, and out-of-town guests are leaving for home. But you know what? Not everyone has that luxury to go home. However, Raintree Children and Family Services is doing all it can to help. Raintree is a community impact partner of United Way of Southeast Louisiana and is a multi-service nonprofit organization with a rich history of providing services to children and families. Ladies, I can't believe this, more than 87 years. Wow. Well, let's talk about that because this has been a great holiday, and I know that we want to look to the future. It's tis the season almost. I mean, this year is just kind of towards the end. But I know that you do all you can year-round to make the girls at Raintree just feel good about themselves, give them a bright future, and everything else that goes with it.
That's correct. And we'll let Miss Joe talk about a little bit more about the Raintree House for the listeners out there who don't know much about us, to just describe the house and what we do year-round.
Well, besides having 3 separate programs, Raintree House is one of the focal points of our agency. Raintree House is located on 8th Street between Camp and Chestnut, and we service teen girls who are in foster care. From between the ages of, could be anywhere from 12 to 17. And of course, once they turn 18, they have aged out of foster care. But we provide them shelter, food, and everything else that goes along with growing up and being a normal child. And that's what we strive to do daily, is to give them a little sense of, well, really a big sense of belonging. We are the family that isn't there. We try to go the extra mile in not just providing food and shelter, but also providing them with some of the extras, like recreational activities and cultural activities, and just some of the things that other children have.
And it's important because you're talking about some of those things. It's not just the roof over the head and food on the table. Okay, that's a big just. Mm-hmm. But as you said, this kind of seeking of normalcy.
That's right.
And to give these girls an opportunity to feel like the other girls they know growing up, that they want to fit in. Everybody wants to belong.
Yes, they do. A big problem I find with some of our girls, their social skills, should I say, are lacking because a lot of them go to school and they don't form positive relationships with other girls outside of the home or they could find the boys, but but with other girls I find outside of the home, others, period. And I don't know, some of them really don't care that they're in foster care, but then there are others who feel really indifferent about it.
Oh, so, or is it insecure or security or embarrassment?
Embarrassment, probably. But we have found that when their friends from school have found out that they are in a group home and then they see this fabulous home that they live in and this nice place, it's a different story. You know, they feel a little bit more comfortable.
I was going to say, and Joachim, if you would start at the beginning and talk about how the girls come to you, how they are put into foster care, because unfortunately, these lovely ladies, it's great for them if, as long at a lack for words, as you can understand, which is rare for me. But my heart just goes out to these gals. And to be put in a position where you have to be put in foster care, I would think that being at Raintree is one of the best things that can happen to them. But they come with broken homes and broken hearts, don't they?
Oh, yes. I mean, there's a myriad of reasons why a child is placed in foster care. Usually it could range from neglect, abuse, dependency. Some of them have been adjudicated where I would say have been in the juvenile system, and parents can't necessarily deal with them. In those cases, I personally feel that they should be in juvenile justice custody and not DCFS, because being in foster care should not be punitive. It's those who are in need of a safe and nurturing environment. So we've had children who have been abused by their parents. We've had children that have been given drugs by their parents. We've had children that have been beaten, and they come with all of those scars, you know. So, frankly, a lot of them do have mental health diagnoses, commonly ADHD, depression, anxiety, bipolar. So they come to us with all of those. So once they go into foster care with DCFS, in state's custody rather, the state, if it's a child that can't necessarily be in a foster home right now because of maybe their behavior or something, and they need something a little bit more structured, then a group setting is considered, and that's where Raintree House is considered. And the state would send us a packet. We would review it based on the services that we provide, and based on the child's needs, a decision is made whether or not to take that child or not. Because it's not the placement for everybody. It's not a lockdown. It's really an extension of a foster home.
And that's what you're trying to do, make it a home, make it the best place possible for that child to be.
But it is more structured than a foster home, in the sense that there is someone there 24/7, up and awake. And, you know, they have a schedule to follow, and you know, things like that. So it's more structured in that, and we have goals for them. You know, we set our main goals, which is definitely to get you in school, to make sure that all of your medical needs are met, to make sure that you are set up with mental health needs if, you know, your plan suggests that you need that, or you come to us and you need that follow-up, to make sure that you have visits with your family. If your permanency plan is reunification with your family, then it's up to us to do everything that we can to make sure that you get back to your family. And that's helping to supervise visits, and making sure that if we have something at Raintree that, you know, your family is invited, and things like that, transporting you to those visits, things like that.
Because it can be a lengthy process, because you have, as you said, girls that sometimes when they've been taken from their home or because of the environment they were in, it's not only helping to rebuild this child's life, but it's to make sure that if she goes back, that life at home with her parents or siblings or guardians or whomever, that they are also doing better, that family unit can operate as a family could or should.
That's right. And that's why we work closely with the Department of Children and Family Services, because they provide the services for the family or whatever they need. We just work collaboratively with them as well. And we have seen situations where children have gone back home and they ended up coming back because it didn't work out.
Well, you're talking about the structure and the rules and things, but all the research has always pointed to the fact that that's what these children, all children really need and deep down inside really want.
Yes.
And that's how you show you care.
Yes, it definitely is. You know, some of them appear so very needy, and it takes a lot of patience to deal with those. But I always think about they didn't have anybody that cared, evidently, because they research all your family and extended family and friends to see before you go into foster care. And evidently there was, no other resources. So, that leaves us.
How do you separate? I'm thinking about the two of you who are so invested in Raintree and its mission and what you do for these young women, many come as young girls. How do you, when it's time to leave, how do you do that? Is it I was going to say, is it bittersweet? You're glad because you succeeded, but I would imagine you've got to keep a box of Kleenex handy too.
It is bittersweet. There are girls that we all talk about. Now, I'm in the house, and I deal with the house. Whitney deals with all the programs or whatever, but we can discuss girls who have left.
Yeah, definitely.
Who have left and who have, wonderfully been reunited with their family, or have either gone to a foster home, because we do have foster homes as well. And we work, that's another thing that we do work on between our programs. It is not our goal to just keep you in the group home. As things improve for you, as you meet certain goals, we try to move you to a foster family, actually, one of ours, because we have the programs, one of ours. And eventually that could either turn into an adoption or continue on with your permanency plan of going home,
Joachim, I want to come back and talk more about that, but Whitney, you've been very quiet and very patient. Is that the Whitney we know? She's saying yes.
It is.
No.
It is.
But Joe just said, we were talking about all the programs that are involved there, because the house in itself is something that's extremely important, but you have these programs that support the girls who are in the house, and as Joe said, that are going elsewhere to foster care, into a home, or perhaps even adoption. And that for some, unfortunately, can be a long road, and there are those that need a lot of help. So Joe kind of walked me through in some of the system and how the girls may come to be at Raintree House. But what about some of the other, when you're talking about after school and support services and the coordination and there are so many things that go into it.
That's absolutely correct. The other programs that we do have, a component of the Raintree House, and it's actually a United Way program, is we have an after-school girls club that we work with them for, like what Joe was talking about with social skills. So we've worked with them before, and we've partnered with Youth Empowerment in New Orleans to work with more kids in Central City, as well as our girls, to help them with character building and social skills. Additional programs that we have, like Joe was talking about, is we do have a foster parent program. We're an agency you can train through to become a foster parent. It is a bit of a process, but we're absolutely always looking for parents. So if you would like more information on that, please call us or look more into it on our website.
Well, do both. And if you will, give that website address, and a couple times, Whitney, because right now we always tease, but somebody is running off to grab that pen and paper. They need to write that down.
Sure.
And the phone number, because some find it easier to give a call.
Sure. If you'd like to give us a call and talk to us about becoming a foster parent, especially with the holidays coming up, the number for that is 504-899-9045. And that number again is 504-899-9045. Or if you want to do some research into it and visit our website, we have a lot of information about the requirements. You can go to www.raintreeservices.org. That's raintreeservices.org.
And you were talking about in this time, and again, because we're just moving now from Thanksgiving into Christmas and the New Year, and this is such a special time for so many. Do you find that there are things that the girls and that others, is this a time when more people want to get involved? Have they been moved by the Christmas spirit, so to speak?
Yes, we've been really blessed with that, but we're always looking for more help. Even if it's not something you want to do at the holidays per se, there's always items that are running that we need. For the Raintree House in particular, recreation items are always appreciated, particularly like with the holiday break coming up. We have 2 weeks where we have girls at home, and we love to be able to take them out to go do things. So think about your family going out and going to the movies over the holidays. It's a huge treat for these girls to be able to go to the movies.
Now, wait a minute. How does that happen? So that you would have called or registered, or All right, because I see you both. Joe's kind of put her hand up.
Yes, because that is a big need for us at not just the holiday times, but the
Year
holiday
round?
season. Yes, year round is especially tight for us because the girls are home and we're looking for things for them to do outside of the home. Because if you're just cooped up in the house, then you tend to get in trouble. But anyway, we look for things like movie passes or maybe the bowling alley or laser tag or Christmas in the Oaks. I mean celebration in the Oaks or things like that. Something for the girls to do outside, of the home. Skating, they love to skate. They,
So you
like to go.
could give passes or admission, tickets or things, but what about if your family or husband and wife and you're listening right now or somebody saying, I would like to take the girls out. I'm assuming here it's going to be a lot more than just saying, oh, here I am, and I want to take a girl out for the afternoon. Isn't there training, there's a program, or can they even do something like that?
Well, we would actually prefer if, they said, okay, well, I want to sponsor 2 or 3 girls. I want to sponsor 4 or 5 girls. It's just more complicated with someone that we're not familiar with taking them out because the girls are usually really guarded.
Yeah.
Really guarded, and trust is a big issue. And I know people want to share their time with them at times, but you can call us about that.
Because I was going to say, it seems to me that if you want to do it just kind of a one-time, don't bother in a way because you could become attached to in a brief period and then you're gone.
Exactly.
Plus, we're talking background checks and all the things for everyone's safety.
That's right.
That's right.
But if you want to get in the program and it's really, you have to make a commitment that you're going to be there for a certain period of time if you're going to be a regular visitor or contributor, shall we say.
And we do have a volunteer process. Actually, Whitney is in charge of that. So we do get calls about volunteers. But what we do ask is that people say, oh, I want to volunteer, but we ask that you come with a purpose. In other words, what is your forte? Someone may say, well, you know what, I'm a beautician and I want to come and I want to do hair or, I do nails, or I'm an artist and I'd like to do that, or I'd like to cook a special meal. But you need to have your plan, because a lot of people do call us, but they'll just say, I want to volunteer. Well, we don't really need anybody to sit up in their faces and, because we do have staff.
It sounds like it's almost tutorial if you're going to be doing something. As you said, can do their hair, which would be a treat. Pardon me.
Nails.
Even teach them how to
Exactly.
do something. Or I would suspect, pardon me, if you're a teacher or you could be good with helping someone perhaps with reading skills or something like that, perhaps. Maybe that's something you would do. But again, it has to fit into a master plan that's going to work for not only the girls overall, but the individual girl or girls that you might be working with.
That's right.
That's correct.
Now, if you wanted to do some mentoring, like I said, we do have that, some one-on-one or one-on-two mentoring. There is a process. And if you follow through, that is a possibility, because they do need mentors, but you are subject to, a lot of background checks and
It is a lengthy application. I mean, when you come to us with it, we welcome you, but just know that, it is a process to get involved to be that level of volunteer. However, if you're interested in doing something like Miss Jo's talking about, or teaching a class or anything like that, again, you can visit our website. We have a volunteer application that you can fill out. And we try to kind of help you and just make it thought-provoking. The application is just different ideas of things that you can do with the residents. Or you can give us a call again, and that number is 504-899-9045, and our website is raintreeservices.org, and we do have a link to the volunteer application on the front page.
Now, you were telling me earlier about some of the girls and that you talk and and some that have been such great successes. I've always been curious, have you ever had a girl who has, quote, aged out, who's gone on to find her home, who maybe comes back to volunteer or talk or give inspiration to the others that are there?
Yes, we do. We actually have a few. One in particular, Ashley Dewey, she graduated from college last year?
Yep, in May of last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she graduated in May of last year, and she has moved out of the area. She went to college in Baton Rouge, but she would come back on the weekends because we were basically her family. She really didn't have, she had some family or whatever, but we were the ones. We were the ones at her graduation.
Oh.
We were, me, Whitney, Miss LaShawna, our executive director. We were there for her. And she's recently took a position in Texas. And so she moved to Texas. But any chance she get, and even while she was in school, she would come and she would talk to the girls. You know, they would have a hair day because she lived there.
And Raintree is home.
Yes. And she knew, you know, what it entailed. We have another one who aged out maybe a few months ago. She's in college. She's in Lafayette. And she's doing very well as well.
And that's just amazing. It just shows what an organization like Raintree can do when it has the support it needs to get the job done. Well, let's talk a little bit about, again, here's the holiday season. We know you need things year-round. We talked a little bit about passes for skating or maybe to a movie or things. But if we're going to make this holiday season brighter for the young ladies at Raintree, what are some of the other things that might be needed if people can do? I know that first and foremost, yes, you're a United Way partner agency. We are proud to have you as a United Way partner agency. But not United Way or anyone can fund an agency in its entirety. It takes, a village? It takes a lot of people.
It does.
So there are a lot of other things that perhaps you could use this year.
There are things that we can use, and not just at the holiday season. Our biggest thing around the holidays, because we do have some people that will buy coats, and we do need that, things like that, coats and sweaters, but things like hats and scarves we could always use. These are things that, because we have girls that are coming and going, hats, scarves, socks, things like that we need. But year round, we want to give each girl who has a birthday when she's there a cake and a gift or a gift card. They love Walmart, they like Target, you know, they like Forever 21, things like that. And we call it the birthday club.
Oh.
So we ask, you know, our donors or anyone to please consider our birthday club or things for our birthday club, because the girls need it. And we had a girl who, she just came, say maybe Thursday or Friday, and she had a birthday on the weekend, and we didn't realize that. So I'm making that up to her all this week, however I can, you know, the birthday club. We also have a uniform fund, because some girls come in at any time in the middle of the school year, any time in the school year, and we have to wait on the stage to purchase a pair of shoes or uniform. So we just said, well, you know what? Let's have a uniform fund where we can go and get those socks or those pants, those shirts. And some of the schools, the charter schools and all the public schools, the uniforms are just as expensive as private schools.
And they're required, and you don't want the girl to feel out of place or draw more attention to herself, that maybe she is different by standing out and not wearing the uniform.
That's right. And with some, I've found that with some of the charter schools, they will actually send you home.
Ooh.
If you do not have everything, you know, with your uniform down to a tie.
Well, there are the rules, and again,
that's
there's
the rules.
that structure.
That's right. So we're not complaining about it. We're just saying that our girls need those things.
Well, we've got a birthday club, a uniform fund. Anything else you can think of?
Yes, all the time. We always need sheets and towels. Twin sheets and bath and face towels.
And I want to make a point right here. We are talking new, folks. We love when people can give things, and there are other agencies that will take the gently used, but this is new. These young ladies deserve something new and nice that is their own, and their own set of sheets and their own towels, and and things that they can use to bathe and then sleep upon. So I just want to make that point very clear.
Yes,
Yes,
because
thank
we
you.
actually cannot give them used used towels and things like that, or either used clothes. But if you have something nice that is gently used and you bring it to us, what we do is we give the girl an opportunity. Like we'll present it out there and we're like, if you want this, but we can't legally
Right.
give them something that's used.
And especially, well, that's what I was going to say, the state, and especially for your body's going to be sheets,
That's
towels,
right.
that kind
That's
of
right.
thing. And it's
That's
for their health and for their well-being, and also, as you said, there could be some legality involved.
And when they leave, they take the towels. You know, they usually take the towels.
And that's a question I think so many of us wonder about. We've heard the success story of Ashley, and it's just marvelous. I do believe I had the opportunity to meet her once, but some of the others, that's that strange transition period. You're a woman now. You're 18 years old. You're graduating from high school, but oh my goodness, where to go? What to do?
That's
As you
right.
said, Raintree for many has been their home. It's their family unit. How do you make sure they're prepared for that next step out in the world?
We've started to really look at what to do that we can do to help them when they age out. We just don't kick you out the door at 18 and say good luck. That's not what we're about at all. In the last year, we've really helped in cases like the girl Joe was talking about who just graduated from high school this past year. We helped her get set up in her dorm room. So everything you do for your kids when they go to college, you know, from buying the fun bed sheets to buying the, you know, cool like decorative stuff for the rooms, the pillows, your microwaves, your things like that, we helped her take care of that. And that's something that we're growing into and we see a need for these kids who are hitting 18 to be able to help them succeed even further by giving them that base that they need to stand on as they age out of foster care.
And you're talking about going to college, and that's wonderful, but I'm imagining that it's a scholarship kind of situation. Or do you ever need funds or looking for things to help in a scholarship fund, or is that something that's just not being worked on right now?
Well, we haven't gotten as far as a scholarship fund because they do actually qualify for grants, not just loans, for grants. So those are, you don't have to pay them back. They do qualify for that. Some of them have applied for scholarships, offered through the schools or other scholarships. Whitney has no problem helping them apply for other scholarships as well. So we haven't run across that because those who have gone to college are not, I don't want to say that's not the usual. The usual are girls who have more difficulty, girls who may turn 18 and they are still in high school. The usual are those who don't necessarily want to go to college or are not necessarily college material, but can function. Some have, like I said, mental health issues as well. So
But you're giving them every opportunity
To
for that
live
leg up, to
independently.
have that sense of normalcy, family, friendship, home.
correct.
Correct.
Ladies, we have just a few seconds here, and Joachima, whether it's you or Whitney, please just these last few seconds, a few words you want people to remember today when they're listening to this show.
Sure. Just as you're listening today and the holiday season's upon you, just think about those who are in the Raintree house, who are in our programs and could stand to benefit from a little extra help and a little extra joy, not only this holiday season, but in the coming year. I urge you to please visit our website at raintreeservices.org or give us a call at 504-899-9045 to learn more about what you can do to help the kids that we serve.
And that's wonderful. Whitney Arminger, thank you so very much. Whitney is the Development Associate at Raintree Children and Family Services. Joachim Blanc, who is the Raintree House Supervisor. And I do want to let you know that United Way of Southeast Louisiana, we are here to aspire to help people live the best life possible. United Way supports health and human service programs of nonprofit agencies like Raintree that with United Way work to strengthen children and youth, the elderly, families, and individuals from all walks of life in Jefferson, Orleans, Plaquemine, St. Bernard, St. Tammany, Tangipahoa, and Washington parishes. For more information, please visit us at unitedwaysela.org. For United Way, I'm Terry Westerfield, and please live united.